Hi everyone, welcome to the Wedding Wellness channel with me, Catherine Creswell. I'm joined today by Helene Musso, who is a confidence coach. Yeah, I'll let you introduce yourself and tell us about what you do.
Oh, well, thank you so much, Catherine, for inviting me today. Yes, as Catherine is saying, I help people to overcome the fears of speaking in front of an audience. So if you're obviously getting ready for the big day, you are going to be center stage, and it's actually very, very scary for a lot of people. So, and including you. So it's important to get yourself ready for that. Really, really important. But I'll explain a little bit of how I work and why I'm here. First of all, I'm French. If you haven't noticed, I've got this funny accent, but I've lived in England, in the UK. I live in Essex, in Chelmsford. I've been living there for about 30 years, I think. And when I arrived in this country, I used English drama to learn English, basically. And I ended up doing mini plays and lots of games, etc. And I find it so much fun that I eventually became a drama teacher. So I was there teaching in a school in Essex, and I taught, and I've taught to a lot of people. And then around 2011, I was in my 40s, a bit of a, I suppose, crisis like we all have. Why am I on this earth? I'm very tired, as if any of you are teachers, how tiring it is. And I was thinking, do I want to do that for the rest of my life? The age of retirement had been pushed back to I don't know what age. And I just thought, maybe I need to start looking at doing something which will, fulfill me. I mean, teaching was wonderful, and I still do some teaching, but it's about sort of finding a balance, I suppose. So I trained as a coach, and I'm an NLP coach. For people who don't know what it is, I'm going to label it very badly. Don't anyone who's doing NLP, please don't say anything, but very badly as positive psychology. So I have a tendency to see everything from a good angle, and also always find that there's always a solution to a problem. And to be honest, I don't believe even there are problems in life. I think there's things you have to do, and sometimes you have challenges and opportunities. So seeing life like that has really helped me. But at the time I was doing coach, I was thinking, well, if I was to be a coach, what would I do? And I wasn't quite sure, and just thought about it. And then I had this sort of fear of being in front of people. And you're going to say, well, you're a teacher, so you shouldn't be scared. Well, I can tell you that most teachers are actually really, really scared, and they're scared in different settings, because confidence is very linked to where you are and what who you are in front of. And you might be very confident in front of certain people, but I'm really not confident in front of others. And it was exactly that. I was okay in my classroom, except sometimes you had some horrible little students at times, but overall I was okay. But when it came to training with the other teachers, well, basically my peers, I always froze. And I remember not being able to contribute in meetings, find it really, why am I here? I'm the little Frenchie. Who am I to even just, help everyone? And it's such a shame, because in drama, you have often a lot of tools you can use to help students to learn in a more fun and creative ways. So a maths teacher could use some drama techniques to teach maths, if they want to. So there was a lot of knowledge and skills that could have been passed on. But my lips were sealed. I just was so scared, really, really scared. And one thing I realized is that I always shied away from running assemblies. So, Catherine, assemblies, what it's like, you go in England, you go into a room, or primary assemblies are quite welcoming and relaxed, but secondary assemblies are quite scary. 300 students was in my secondary school, my first secondary school, 300 students walking in this big hall. And we had, I remember, big rack seating. So they pulled the rack seating in the morning, and you can sit on this, but it wasn't stable. So every time students walked in, it was just trembling away. And by the time you had all the students with their teachers, 300 students, I remember, per year group, this was a 1 year group, you had all the students looking down at you, with peppered amongst them the teachers. And I always remember being at the bottom thinking, I will never, ever run an assembly. That's too scary. That's too beyond me. Just all these students, what are they going to think of me? And and people, what is one going to think about? And that was a mistake, because if I'd been able at that time to embrace that, I would have gone into a promotion. I never got promoted in that school because you were seen by senior management doing something for the school. So if you talked about a school play, or if you talk about a charity event, or if you talk about, I don't know, something of moral issue, whatever it was, you were seen by senior management. I thought, oh, quite like that person. They're doing something good for the school. So I didn't get promoted. And the second thing is that it gives you kudos and charisma among students. So if the students saw you doing something good for the school, even in the corridors, they would pass you and say, oh, miss, you're doing this. But if you didn't, you were still the little Frenchie, in my case, thinking, I'm all right. And that was absurd. And it took me years to understand that by speaking and actually by showing you, and being present there for people, it's just absolutely beautiful. Yeah. So if I go back to your clients, Catherine, preparing for their big day, it's having this courage of being there and thinking, I'm okay. It's okay to be seen. It's okay to be there. But it takes a lot of courage, doesn't it? Quite a lot of courage. Yeah. Especially, some of them have to make, I've been to a lot of weddings in this country. Do they have to make a speech as well? Or tell me a bit more the setup.
The tradition is it's the groom and the father of the bride who do the speeches. But in my world, I like people to be open to however they want their day to be. I've just trained as a celebrant as well, so literally anything goes pretty much. So, and people are surrounded by those that they love the most and the people that love them the most. So to have to still be fearful on a day like that I just find it so sad. I just want everyone to embrace the beauty of the occasion and feel the love and feel the confidence and be able to tell everyone, because, well, obviously part of the wedding is the vows and things like that, so you can't get away from not saying those things.
A few things at least. And it's I think it's not just not just about speaking. I think it's about having the courage to be seen.
Yes.
And I remember quite a few years ago, at the time I was training as a coach, I was trying to find my feet, what I was going to do. I went to a training course, and the trainer there, and it was to do with public speaking in my field, and the trainer said, well, I have clients and it's their big day like that, and they want to be in hiding, and they're so scared, and they are so scared because they feel that they don't deserve that attention. And and that's the problem we have, especially a woman, is that we just feel that we should keep it small. Actually we should, she shouldn't be seen. We're still damaged by the mentality that girls needs to be quiet in a corner. There's an expression, isn't there? You've got to be a good girl, and then you better not say very much. And I think in this country, in the UK, I've noticed it's still quite prevalent, and it's not necessarily understood fully because people don't necessarily talk about it. So it's a bit of a subconscious thing, and part of the cultural heritage we have. And it's very important to try to think that actually it's your day and it's you, and actually people want you to shine. It's about, and it's fine to be seen. It's okay, but it is hard. It is hard. I would suggest actually for a bride to be to collect photos of herself before the wedding, maybe of happy moments. I think at the moment I'm running this 5-day challenge, Facebook Live challenge, and it's really aimed at business owners. However, one or two of the tasks, or the second one, day 2, is very much to look at your life, and two of them, to look at your life and to see how much you've achieved, how much value you've brought to this world.
Yes.
Because we very rarely stop and look back and thinking, what did I do in my life? Obviously, if you're very, very young, you might not have had time to do that. But if you even at 25, or the time we marry, or you have done things already, you have helped that person, or you have coped with a new job, or you have moved house, and all this is achievement, even if you don't feel they're that small, they're that big, sorry, they are big to you. And we take ourselves for granted. When someone has got a crisis or overcome something quite difficult, that's this is what I do. I mean, I'll give you an example. I obviously left my country when I was 23. I'm now in my 50s. And I didn't think it was a big deal. I thought, well, I'm not happy where I am. I need to make a change. I need to do something. I need to have something new happening in my life. And I just went.
Yeah.
But actually looking back on it, I was thinking, bloody hell. Oh, sorry, I shouldn't
No,
swear.
no.
It's the resilience you have to do that, and the courage. And my sister was never moved out of France. Said, not everyone can do that. You have to actually take a stand and saying, I'm going to be okay by going away. And it could have been a disaster. The only thing I did is, was still a bit cautious, because I thought I'll go to America. And then I thought America's a long way away from France. But if I go to England, if anything goes wrong, I just got, I can go on a train or on a ferry or a plane, and I'll be home very quickly. So, it was a bit cautious there. But it's sometimes having courage to do things, and in this case, to value your done. Now I recognize that by doing that, I completely transformed my life for the better, because I love the job as a drama teacher. Okay, I didn't want to carry on, but I still love it. And I still do a bit of teaching with people with learning disabilities every so often. And I love it little job. So just love, because people are infused. And so valuing, I think, really much, if you can, and it's an exercise, Catherine, with your clients, if they can really look at what they've done in their life, and big moments where I think, oh, I did that and I overcome this, or I was strong there, or, and we all have this, or I passed this exam and it was really hard work, whatever it is.
Yeah.
And the second thing I would advise is, again, at least in my challenge, is to find one or two photos, talking about visual representation of you. So you start getting used to seeing you. And it's okay to have, like me, funny hair. Look, I haven't had a haircut yet. Funny hair. It's okay to have a funny nose, and it's all right. These enough people, I believe, on this planet. There's 7 billion people. If you are getting married, then you already found someone who loves you. That's a good start. You've got a family. There will be people around you who will love you. There'll be a few friends. Even if at times we feel lonely, there's still a few people who value who you are. But we don't say it. We think,
it's so
Yeah.
important to love yourself.
Yes,
and
exactly.
appreciate why all those people love you as well. And like you say, the visual aspects, obviously a lot of brides-to-be are nervous about being seen, they're the center of the attention, but yeah, getting those photos and getting other people even to say what they love about how you look in that photo as well. Just surround yourself with positive images and words. And
yes, I think it's a bit like, you're recording this at the moment, and it's a bit at the beginning. Obviously we can see ourselves, can't we? So initially, when you do lives or videos, etc., you get these, thinking, oh my God, I can see myself still. But first of all, I'm always thinking, people see it from the other side. So they don't see what you see. They see someone, obviously not someone too different, but they see it as you are. And I'm quite animated, so I bring energy to the place. And I know that now. But initially you think, oh my God, this is terrible. But actually people love you just the way you are. In my case, we have sort of quirkiness, but in other people, it's fine to be quiet and calm and, but obviously on a big day, you still want to turn around to people and smile and be okay. I mean, I suppose for a bride to be, there's so many things to think about, isn't there? You need to make sure other people, you've delegated things. I'm sure you talk about, you've taken responsibility for the wedding, obviously, with your partner or husband to be, but also delegating things, so you don't have to think, all right, have I got to use enough champagne, or and trusting that someone like you, Catherine, can take charge of the place as well, and just make sure that the day is going to be a good day. So it's this rapport that you need to create with your clients, don't you, Catherine?
Definitely. And I think all of the bridal party and the guests as well, it's it's just, I think a lot of brides spend so much time thinking about everyone else and how the day's going to be for them, and it sort of takes away from how it's going to be for themselves. So yeah, I always make sure, like, even like, helping people fix the buttonholes in, or tell them where the loos are, whatever, all the little things that just help the day go a lot easier. That's
I suppose, again, as a bride to be, you might have to let go of a little bit of control, being a little bit of controlling, because women are wonderful, are wanting to control everything. and it's, no, please don't take it badly, but being a control freak is quite common amongst women. And actually, there's a time you have to let go. And I suppose that's the thing I do in my work as well, is about people accepting that it's not going to be perfect, but it's going to be, and it's going to be about you, and it's going to be about your husband and your family and your friends, and perfection doesn't exist.
Yeah.
So when I again go back to the work I do, people often don't jump on a live on a video because they're thinking it's not going to be perfect. Well, I'm saying, I'm sorry, but it's not ever going to be perfect.
No.
Well, the only thing you can do is put everything as much as you can in place so that it's going to be a good day. But after a while, you've got to say, I can't do anything. And you've got to relax. I used to run a lot of plays, obviously, as a drama teacher. And then I quite like directing plays. Well, there's a time your work is done. You've worked with the students, you worked in a play, and you sit down there and play starts. There's nothing you can do. If they muck up, it's not actually your fault unless you haven't rehearsed enough, etc. And you have to let go. And the number of times I'm more nervous than the students. So I remember, I'm half up. And so I'm thinking, let's just relax. It's fine. It's going to be fine. Whatever, qui sera, sera, as they say.
Absolutely. These things happen, and you can spend so much time thinking about, oh, what if it rains? What if this? What if that? Well, if that happens, then we'll deal with it. We'll go with it. And you can't. There are a lot of things that you can't control, but at the same time, there are so many things you can control. And once you've got that within you, like you say, you can let go of all the other things, all the craziness that might be happening all around. Just take a moment, take it back to you and what you can control, and just let it go.
Let it happen. I think it's about trusting the process, isn't it, Catherine? It's about you organize it as best as you can, and obviously they would come to you to make sure the day is going to run smoothly. But then after a while, you've got to just let it go. You've got to just and let go of this sort of control freaking type of behavior that a lot of women are. We don't have to think that everything is our responsibility. I think that's a big thing. But letting go and just say, well, yes, I take charge, but I don't have to have all the details. I suppose in business also it's about micromanagement and micromanagement. You have to raise above the whole thing after a while. Put everything in place so it's perfect and not perfect, as best as it could be, and then let it go. Let it go. Yes. So I don't know what for me, for them to help them and prepare for the day would be very much to look at how they can value themselves, looking, as I said earlier on, looking at what they've experienced. So think, okay, I deserve to be seen. It's fine. I'm okay just a bit where I am. People love me. And as you mentioned, maybe asking people to tell them what they love about, beforehand. This will sort of be maybe a few months before. It's quite deep. What I do is actually quite deep. The deep work you need to do on yourself, saying, okay, I'm all right, but maybe I should ask my friends, because they wouldn't be my friends if I was just such a pain all the time. Sometimes, obviously, as friends, we have people who just behave in a silly manner, but we love them the way they are. And it's quite important maybe to ask, say, well, what do you like about myself? What it is? Yes, I think the photo aspect, looking at, getting used to seeing yourself on photos, okay, is quite important. And I think obviously afterwards it's a lot of work. I do a lot of work in all the thing I do on eye contact and also posture. Okay, because charisma is very much linked to how you hold your body. And you don't have to necessarily feel completely confident inside. You can sort of, especially for an event like at the beginning, or at the big moments when all the eyes are on you, is trying to keep this poise and saying, I'm okay, it's all right. But body will be engaged with it.
And that's it. And the hormones actually react to how you hold your body as well. So if you're all like this, and your body will automatically tense and think there's something wrong. But if you open up, take a deep breath, and your body automatically will help you relax. It's a marvelous machine.
You've mentioned breathing. I tell people, before speaking in public, always take a few deep breaths, discreetly in the toilet or wherever you can, without because it calms you down. The oxygen is brought straight to your brain and calms you down more or less immediately. And it's funny, actually. It's funny how some people tell me, I don't know how to have deep breath. and you can obviously I've trained as a drama teacher and partly as an actress, so you know, you learn how to bring the breath completely in your body and to really have a deep breath. So but it's quite important, if you want again, to just maybe find a few things on YouTube if you don't have a lot of time, and just learn to calm yourself down, before the big day. And also it's normal to be nervous.
Yes.
A lot of people don't want to feel nervous at all. Well, I disagree. I think feeling nervous, it's important. I came today and I was thinking, you know, to talk to you, Catherine, and I was thinking, well, I need to think about that. And I'm not overly nervous, but I was thinking, oh, you know, am I going to make the right impression? I was, you know, you get tense. And even me, with my, you know, experience of speaking in front of people and being quite relaxed overall, I still get quite nervous. And if it's something I've never been, or there's lots of people in front of me, yes, of course you get nervous. It's normal. It's normal. Don't drink too much too quickly. Some people have even a whiskey before, you know, going down the aisle. I don't think that's a good idea. No, because you'll be drunk and behave then too strangely, especially if you haven't eaten. So just find a way. Make sure you have eaten, actually. Because the day is long, isn't it? Yeah. The day is long, and you will be on your feet. And if you're not used to, you know, used to exercise, you'll be quite tired. So make sure you've got a good, consistent breakfast, and rinse some food in your belly. Drink some water, but not too much water either, because then you'll have to go to the loo every 5 minutes with your dress. You know, it's little things like that sometimes make a difference, isn't it? You know, just. And if you do have to speak, I always say to people, try not to drink coffee, because coffee dries your throat. So if you have to still make a few announcements or say a few things, and that may be a recommendation for the people who are making the speech, like the father's groom, the father's bride.
Yeah, I mean,
it changes a bit, doesn't it?
Like I say, anything goes. Obviously, it's not always a bride and groom. It's bride and bride, or groom and groom, and whoever family or friends that are around. Sometimes, like, the best women will do a speech as well.
I mean, I suppose traditions change, isn't it? It's a little bit more open in terms of what to do. I mean, my niece got married. My sister Isabel, she lives on an island next to Mauritius, so a tropical island. It's absolutely beautiful. My niece got married about 2 years ago, and very young people. And what they decided to do, they didn't go to a church. They had, but they exchanged. They had, I think they had a celebrant, but they had decided to talk about why they were together to each other, type of thing. So they both wrote their speech, and they had it, and I could see they were both very nervous, but it was so beautiful because they, you know, they had met, they are sweetheart. Do we say sweethearts? You know, they met when they were very young. And then they obviously went studying different places. She went to Europe, he went to America, etc., and then met again. Decided, actually, we love each other, we're going to stay with each other. So we wrote these beautiful speeches to each other, and I was nearly in tears. It was so moving, you know. So as I say, sometimes these days we're a bit more creative with weddings, aren't we?
That's it. That's the beautiful thing. I think with the celebrant service, you can literally tell the story of the couple, or they can tell the story to their guests. It's really, really beautiful. And all of the things that you've been given, the hints and tips on, absolutely brilliant. And that's what I'm looking we'll be incorporating. I'm doing a wedding wellness course, so the preparation is there. Be 12 weeks of steps to take to help you feel good inside and out, and cover all the practical points as well, so that you're fully prepared and calm and ready for the big day. So
it's wonderful. If by any chance at some point you need my interaction, you know, and you wanted me to come, and I'll be very happy to help you with, you know, maybe a session with people where they can get infused.
Absolutely.
Because I make people move usually, even online. I've done quite a lot of training online, and I make people jump around, because it's recentering people in their body, and playing games, having fun. It's a lot about having fun, isn't it? having
Well,
fun.
that sounds amazing. And yes, definitely, because there will be lots of little bonuses that I'll be adding into the program, and that just sounds absolutely perfect. So
That would be absolutely lovely. Meanwhile, if you don't mind me saying, if anyone wants to join my Facebook Live extravaganza, so you are basically practicing your lies, thinking, and there's a lot of things I've mentioned today are used in that. And it's not just about speaking, it's about reflecting and valuing yourself. It's like what you're doing as well, Catherine. So it's really nice, and it's taking place at the moment. So just go back to Catherine. I think you're joining, Catherine, aren't you? Or
oh, yes, I've joined. Yes, and we'll be posting this on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and you can add the links on for everyone to follow as well.
Wonderful, wonderful. It's been absolutely lovely talking to you, Catherine.
It's been brilliant. Thank you ever so much.
Thank you.
Speak to you soon.